Hello everyone and welcome to Glanford Park, where we prepare to take on Scunthorpe United, who are promotion contenders, trailing only behind Tamworth by a decent way now. They'll probably have to settle for the playoffs, but we are hoping to make a bit more of a playoff push today. If we can pick up the points, we'll be bringing you the scores from around the grounds in the National League North and some of the local sides too. We are without Vaughan today because he is a part-timer. So we've got Quinton on the commentary today with me. Games of note around the grounds, we've identified Warrington Town versus Brackley is probably, other than us, as the biggest game to watch in the National League North. Obviously Warrington having a great season after coming up last season, kind of sitting around the middle of the table, and Brackley sitting just outside the playoffs. I think they are one place outside the playoffs, so that'll be one to watch. And Southport host Hereford. Southport with a massive win on Tuesday night over Scarborough Athletic, so that could be one to watch out for, as Hereford are also gunning for the playoffs, sitting just outside, I think in 11th place.
Yeah, it's really, really tight in there.
Yeah, it's really tight up and down.
It's crazy. We obviously we dropped points in back-to-back games before this run, and then things start to look bleak very quickly, and then things can change very quickly.
Yeah, you put a good run together, and that's the case in a lot of leagues. If you put a good run together, you're in a really, really good position. Our fun facts for the day, Matty's fun fact is the Scunthorpe number 9, Danny Elliott, was an ex-Alfreton player, scored a hat-trick on his debut in a 6-1 win against Gloucester, which is quite interesting to see how he matches up against his former side today. The next most interesting thing about today's game is the match official is Mr. Liam Corbett, who has refereed Alfreton twice, and both times Alfreton have ended with less than 11 men.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to be important to the game. I'm hoping we're not going to be talking about it too much, but
if it's anything like Gloucester away, we won't be able not to.
Yeah.
Gloucester away, I think we ended with 17 yellow cards. I don't know if you count, obviously Nathan Newell got 2 and Billy Heath got 2.
Yep.
And also their yellow cards. He was very trigger happy with cards, but I think the thing that we noted most is that we were making fouls and Gloucester were making the same fouls. It wasn't a dirty game by any means, but Gloucester weren't getting booked for them, and we were.
Yeah, like I say, hopefully that'll be well, it wasn't a one-off because it's happened
twice. Curzon Ashton at home the season before,
but hopefully we'll give him the benefit of the doubt from the start, and we'll see how we get on with the referee today. Hopefully the action comes in goals from Alfreton and not from sendings off. So we want to keep 11 players on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because always important to keep the 11 on the pitch. We saw that on Tuesday night, where within 3 minutes there was 2 bookings and a goal for us, and that kind of killed the game and obviously sealed the win. I don't think it was ever in doubt after that. So yes, definitely an important one.
It's definitely something of note that Liam Corbett is the referee today. He's not got a good track record with Alfreton at all, but hopefully today favours the fortune and we get away with a bit more today. But we're just waiting for the teams to come out. The young Scunthorpe fans waving their flags, and the Scunny Bunny holding up a flag with some a local youth football team at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah. The ground has filled up very quickly over the last kind of 15 minutes. I know people obviously getting into the ground just for the game, but it did seem as though we were lacking a bit in attendance, but they've all shown up. Alfreton fans on the far side in the corner.
A decent few have made the journey.
Decent few. Just before the players come out, just a reminder that we return to play the rearranged Kings Lynn fixture at home on Tuesday night. It'd be great to have you down there with us, supporting the boys.
If you're under 18, you can come for free.
Yeah, if you're under 18, you can come for free. With an agreement with Alfreton Town Council, so speak to the guys on the turnstiles and ask for a membership. We know there was some issues with the availability of the cards, but the scheme is still available, and we will confirm on social media about the new cards being available.
Yeah, and as well, if you're coming down on Tuesday to watch us play Kings Lynn, you can pick yourself up one of these lovely hats I've got on.
Yep.
It's obviously, it completes my look. I don't go anywhere without it. I absolutely love it. And you can get one for just £11 from the club shop. So if you're going to come down to the game, pick yourself one up because they are beautiful. I am in love with mine. Which is why I'm wearing it in a sea of Scunthorpe fans.
Yep, we are, like we are in a lot of grounds, kind of in and amongst the away support.
Surrounded by Scunny. But I'm optimistic as ever. My prediction for today is I'll do you a service and I won't nick your prediction.
Okay.
I'm going to say, as always, I've never predicted an Alfreton loss yet, so I'm going to go with a 2-1 win today.
See, I think we'll get a clean sheet. We're defensively been really strong. We went for a bit of a tough patch where we seemed to be leaking a few goals where we didn't need to, but it seems to have really kind of
mainly on the
stable.
road.
Yeah, mainly on the road.
Well, as we mentioned on Tuesday, we're yet to concede a goal at home this calendar year. It's a very, very impressive record as we come to the end of February.
I'm going to go for an Alfreton 2-0 win.
Unchanged from earliest prediction.
Yes, 2-0.
Yeah, I got told off at Darlington away because I have an acquaintance prediction from the bus.
I wouldn't have minded, but it was right.
Yeah, they were asking me my prediction for the bus. I said, I'll save it for the commentary lads, and then I just nicked his and it was right. He said, I can't go for the same one. But Vaughan tends to do that to me, even not purposefully. I don't tell him what I'm thinking and then he does it. I just kind of think him one and then he says it and then I go, I'll have to go something a bit different. But we're approaching 3 minutes of our kick-off, and here come the officials and here comes the team. So Alfreton Town's lineup remains unchanged from Tuesday night's win against Banbury, as we start with number 1 George Willis in goal, number 4 Adam Lund, number 5 Kennedy Diggy, number 6 Dwayne Wiley, who captains the side, number 7 John Thulis, number 8 George Cantrell, number 10 Liam Waldock, number 12 Harry Perrott, number 22 Billy Fuster, number 23 Nathan Newell, and number 24 Jerry McDonough. And on the bench for Alfreton is Jake Askew, Joshua Claxton, Jake Day, Lewis Salmon and Sean Brisley. And for the home team, Scunthorpe United, in goal is Ross Fitzsimmons, number 2 Regan Ogle, number 5 Will Evans, number 6 Andrew Boyce, number 7 Michael Clewland, who captains the hosts, number 9 Danny Elliott, the former Alfreton man, number 12 Liam Linden, I'll go with it. I can't remember how they said it, number 19 Jacob Butterfield, number 20 Kean Scales, number 27 Dion Sebi Ferris, number 33 Tyler Denton, and the substitutes are Michael Kelly, Alfie Beeston, 10 Tom Pugh, number 44 Ross Barrows, and number 49 Danny Whitehall.
Expertly done.
Fighting with a tannoy.
20 Kean Scales, 27 Dion Sebi Ferris.
I think it's Liam McLinden, they said. So that's how they pronounced it. I forgot how they said it because I'd pronounced it differently earlier. There's a lot of people on the pitch.
Yeah. Today's sponsors are on the pitch. There is 15 of them.
Yeah, well, plenty going on, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Obviously, not surprised Billy remains unchanged, with the boys being in some great form.
Yeah, I mean, not surprising to kind of see us unchanged. We didn't see any. The only thing we were kind of expecting was Jerry McDonough obviously came off on Tuesday night. We were a bit unsure whether he was going to be available for today, but he's here, he's starting, and he'll want to play as well as he did on Tuesday. He was brilliant before he was forced off.
Yeah, well, we know this side performs well when it stays unchanged. I think back to that big run of 12-game undefeated run we had earlier on in the season, and the side mainly remains unchanged, not due to the fact that Billy had a choice, because we went through a massive injury crisis during that time. Obviously now we are not in that injury crisis anymore, with great quality on the bench. all those substitutes today are quality players that can come off. Not that the players on the bench weren't quality, but these are players that have had runs in this team on the bench today. Lewis Salmon, who's one of the club's top scorers. Jake Day is one of the club's top scorers this season, but that's just a credit to that goals have come from all over the pitch.
Yep.
Whereas Sean Brisley, a very experienced centre-half on the bench, who's really good at seeing out a game.
Yep. The substitutes that came on Tuesday night, Jake Day came on for Jerry and was brilliant when he came on.
Picked up an assist.
Got the assist. Briz came on, made it, kind of shored us up at the back and kind of saw the performance through.
And you'll hear the Scunthorpe fans behind the hosts end in a big array of noise as Billy Fuster starts us off and Ken Diggy goes for his usual diagonal ball long. It's headed away only as far as Newell, who puts it up into the air as McDonough challenges, but it bounces out to Adam Lund on the halfway line. Now Perrott flicks it forward, and Ogle and Thulis will get into a foot race, but it'll be sought out for a throw-in for the horse in their corner.
The hair is
George Cantrell-esque.
Yes.
Not quite as good or as magnificent, but good. Forward for Jerry McDonough, who flicks it inside really well for George Cantrell, who knees it over the Scunthorpe centre-half, but it's cleared by Ogle, headed back forward by Lund. Back out to Perrott now, who flicks the ball forward. Alfreton applying really good early pressure here. Not letting Scunthorpe get the ball on the floor and get any sort of phase of play going. Dwayne Wiley flicks it back for Diggy, who heads it forward towards Liam Waldock, who picks it up in the midfield, flicks it up into the air for Billy Fuster, who was unchallenged but wasn't aware, and heads it into Tyler Denton, who knocks it towards the corner. Picked up by Ken Diggy, clears off the Scunthorpe player. It'll be an Alfreton throw-in deep in their own half. And a lively start, 1 minute 30 played, and a lot of pressure applied by Alfreton in the early stages of the game. Ball's high into the air. Scunthorpe probably not used to challenging for the ball so much in the air, but as we say every week, Alfreton make teams work and they make teams battle. And everyone who plays this side know that they've been in a game. Is the most notable thing. All the games across the league have kicked off. Obviously, the early kick-off in the Championship was Hull and West Brom, ended 1-1. We were watching it on the bus on the way here. Well, a bit of it just before we arrived. We arrived quite early, so we only got, most of the first half.
I told myself that I was going to set the timer for the stream for the first and second half, which I failed to do.
Well, I tried to waffle while you were doing it so no one would notice. You dropped yourself in it there. I dug you out. Scunthorpe with possession now on the halfway line. Closed down by Perrott, who's pressed up high into the midfield now for Cian Scales. Passes it out to the left-hand side, and it's flicked inside for Tyler Denton, who stood up against Billy Fuster. He flicks it up, but George Cantrell is first to it and clears it out. Jerry McDonough going to give chase to Will Evans, who sees the ball out for a Scunthorpe throw towards the halfway line. Good clearance there from George Cantrell. Obviously Scunthorpe with a neat little ball clipped into the half space in behind Harry Perrott. Cross came in, but towards the edge of the area where Cantrell could just hook it clear. Dwayne Wiley going to go back home to George Willis, who sends it long towards Jerry McDonough, who challenges Will Evans but loses out as Tyler Denton keeps the ball in on that far side. Comes inside to Cian Scales, just knocks the ball back, and Scunthorpe happy to sit on the ball. A long diagonal pass coming towards Dion Sembi-Ferris, but he's ruled out as offside by the assistant referee. Oh, I think Scunthorpe, obviously, Alfred, a really well-organised team, a team that likes to frustrate teams, let them have the ball in their halves, but I think Scunthorpe will be happy to sit with the ball and hold possession. Obviously, probably the side in this league with the biggest following across the National League North. I think that's fair to say.
Definitely. I mean, it's lively here, mainly coming from behind that goal, but yeah, it's definitely creates a bit of a buzz on the pitch as well.
Yeah, an atmosphere. Obviously, the home team will be more used to playing in. Obviously, at the Impact Arena earlier this season, the game ended 2-2. In that game, Scunthorpe picked up a red card after about 30 seconds. And absolute great goals from two defenders. Dwayne Wiley, who hit a thunderbolt from about 30 yards out on his left foot, found its way into the back of the net, and Josh Claxton, with a volley from outside the box, found its way in at the near post on a 2-2 draw on the day. At the time, that was a great result. We didn't realise how good it is until now, really, that this Scunthorpe side sit in second in the National League North. Obviously, Alfreton, after beating Banbury on Tuesday night, sat in fifth with 2 games in hand on fourth, Chester. And a long throw from Adam Lund into the area. Ken Diggy can't quite flick it on, but it comes to Dwayne Wiley, whose left-footed volley is miscued and out to Ogle on this right-hand side. And he looks to go down the line towards Michael Clunan, but it just comes off his thigh and out for an Alfreton throw-in. It could have been a dangerous counter-attack.
Yeah, they looked lively on the break there. George Cantrell kind of having a word with the referee, kind of saying that as he was going to strike the ball there, he's kind of his foot was taken away from him, really, but referee not interested one bit.
A long throw from Adam Lund is headed inside by Jordan Thulis. A neat flicking behind from Billy Fuster. Didn't quite make it through to Liam Waldock, but very impressive. George Cantrell into Jerry McDonough now. Liam Waldock can't quite get the ball under control, but he holds possession and goes back to Harry Perrott. Comes inside to Adam Lund. Great, neat 1-2. As Perrott comes down the right-hand side, he's closed down by Liam McLinden. And Scunthorpe win the ball back. But the ball comes through to Dwayne Wiley. He'll go once again all the way home to George Willis, who has bags of time. And he's just going to slow the play down and walk the ball to the edge of his area. And I'm sure he'll look for the head of Jerry McDonough when he decides to kick it. And he does. Just too high for Jerry McDonough. And it's clipped towards the far corner. And it goes out for a Scunthorpe throw in. As I say that, my team go 1-0 down after 7 minutes after we beat the league leaders in our last game. But what can you do?
Yeah, we've had our first goal in the games across the AFL that we're following, and it's come for Aston Villa. Going 1-0 up very early against Nottingham Forest. Ollie Watkins continuing his rich reign of form, scoring again.
For Scunthorpe now have a free kick. They've looked to clip it towards the corner, but massively overhit. And it will go out for an Alfreton goal kick. Look to just take that quick, clip it towards the right-hand corner for Dion Sembi-Ferris to chase in behind, but it goes all the way through and out. George Willis will place the ball down for a goal kick. And he'll look to hit this near side. That's where the boys in yellow have overloaded. And it heads towards, it comes a bit central. Jerry McDonough challenges Evans, but can't quite win it. It's flicked up, and Jordan Thulis looks to bring it down, but Mr. Corbett decides that Ogle used too much of his hands to win that ball off Jordan Thulis. I was thinking he had been a bit hands-on. Probably the correct decision, but you know, I wouldn't have denied if it wasn't given, but the referee's given a free kick. Nathan Newell standing over the free kick, but he's barking instructions at the boys in the area. Newell with a lofted delivery into the area, but easily collected by Ross Fitzsimmons in the Scunthorpe net, and he looks to ping it quickly over the head of Nathan Newell, but
well done.
He watches it well and heads it up, and Nathan Newell giving Willis a bit of a dodgy back pass, but nothing Willis can't deal with, and he brings it down well and hits an absolutely cracking half volley up the pitch, and Alfreton get a free kick, handball. I didn't quite see that. Not that I didn't see that happen, I just wasn't looking.
I think Jerry was probably asking for it to be a foul for the pull, and the arm that was being used for the pull ended up flailing in the air.
The ball.
And then touching the ball. We won't moan.
No, we won't.
Another good opportunity to put the ball into the box.
Harry Perrott standing over this one. It's one of them awkward ones where it's just a bit too central to strike, kind of with any whip or any curl. It's going to kind of come in straight and kind of floated, or it's not quite close in enough to shoot. If you were to power it and just hope you hit the target. And I believe as Perrott takes his free kick, he shoots and goes up and over the bar. But I believe we have our first game from across the National League North as Gloucester have taken the lead against Scarborough. Obviously Scarborough were beaten by a struggling Southport during the week. It's not looking good for the Sea Dogs.
No, it's not. I mean, they've got themselves in a good position. It seems to be falling off a little bit for them. Yeah,
well, when Scarborough came to the Impact Arena, they were 18th in the National League North. Obviously ran out 3-1 winners on the day. Then after that, they hit an unbelievable bit of form and ended up at the dizzy heights of third. And they've since kind of taken the foot off the pedal, but you can't keep that level of form going throughout a whole season. But I'm sure Scarborough fans won't be happy. They'll be dropping points against teams who are in the relegation fight.
Yes, I mean, as we've seen across the division, there's teams taking points off everybody, and it's unbelievably tight across.
Very competitive.
Yeah, very competitive. So
the ball comes into the area towards the head of Evans, but it's won by Dwayne Wiley. Liam Waldock now picks the ball up just outside the area and boots it up long as Jordan Thulis challenges Tyler Denton. And Adam Lund picks the ball up midfield, looks to flick it in behind for Jordan Thulis, who's onside, into the corner. He stood up by Tyler Denton. Goes back to Billy Fuster, who's challenged, and it's a Scarborough throw-in. And as that phase of play happened, playoff contenders Brackley Town have taken the lead at Warrington. See, when we visited Warrington, it was a pretty unforgettable game. 2-0 up. The game seemed to be dying out. Jake Day had a chance to make it 3-0, unfortunately. Just didn't get it quite right. And we stayed at 2-0, and then in stoppage time, they'd obviously, Andrew Wisdom went on an impressive run, beating a couple of men and made it 2-1, and then the goalkeeper came forward and scored an unbelievable header in the dying moments of the game. A game we won't forget quickly as Adam Lund prepares to launch a long throw into the area. It comes in long, and it's headed out by the former Alfreton man, Danny Elliott. And Alfreton will have a corner. Another goal, I believe. Where was it? I swear down, I just saw one. I did. Blythe Spartans are trailing to Boston, who have taken the lead. It's 1-0 to Boston. I seen you're going to put it on for Blythe, but that was my poor wording. Comes to the edge. Nathan Newell looks to flick it back out wide. A poor corner there from Liam Waldock. We can't get them all right as Denton goes over to the far side to take this throw-in for Scunthorpe. And feet and back as Denton looks to flick it forward. London Diggy challenge each other for the ball, but Dwayne Wiley ends up coming away with the next header, flicked on once again by George Cantrell. Jerry McDonough
it was offside,
goes up for the next one. It's flicked through by Adam Lund. Some Scunthorpe fans jeer for a foul, but it was touched through cleanly from Lund, just a sliding pass. Scunthorpe holding the ball now in the back, looks to play into the midfield. A neat pass round to the wing by Danny Elliott, but just behind the winger on that side.
Not so neat.
Yeah, well, it was a neat pass, just a little bit behind the man. It would have been neat if it had got there. John Thulis runs over from the dugout. I'm not sure what happened there. They look for that long diagonal switch as Newell is in a battle now with Liam McLinden, but he comes out victorious as Alfreton win a throw-in in their own half, probably on the edge of that kind of final third area. Adam Lund will go over and launch this away from being in any danger.
Linesman and referee both hurrying Adam Lund on.
As he throws it back to Willis, who looks to go along towards McDonough, who doesn't quite win it. It comes forward, but Dwayne Wiley wins it, and he looks to look in behind for Jordan Thewlis, but just a bit too much spin on it, and ends up in the hands of Fitzsimmons. And it's out onto that far side now for Keane Scales, who comes back, and I think he's kind of slowly trailing back towards his own half, but he plays it inside now as Scunthorpe look to come forward. But I think Butterfield loses out to Lund there, but he wins the ball back, and it's inside to Sembi Ferris, who wins a free kick after a challenge from Liam Waldock, judged to be a foul. It's in a good area, this, for Scunthorpe to curl the ball into the area. Obviously, Billy said in his post-match against Banbury, what Alfreton do well is they put the ball in the area. They put the ball in the box where goals can be scored.
Yeah, I think Billy's made a few comments in his recent post-matches about kind of people's perception of how we're playing, and I think he's right in what he's saying.
We put the ball into areas where it can end up in the back of the net.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't like turning back and passing around the edge of the box. He likes to come into the area. So, and obviously over the past couple of weeks, it's worked well. We've got Alexandra Feliciano in the chat, supporting from Brazil. We thank you for your support always. Coming and watching this stream, supporting the team. Sheffield Wednesday have taken the lead against Bristol City, looking to make the great escape at the bottom half of the championship. Obviously, our January Player of the Month winner, and in a rich vein of form, is Liam Waldock, formerly of Sheffield Wednesday. And George Willis just waiting to knock a long ball, and he does towards Jerry McDonough. Ogle wins the header over Jordan Thewlis, but he can't get it forward, only backward, but he eventually hooks it, but it's won by Dwayne Wiley. It's hooked forward once again by Scunthorpe, and it's hooked back forward by Diggy. And Jerry McDonough's going to pick the ball up now on this right wing as Jordan Thewlis ventures inside. Jerry McDonough looked to play it back to Nathan Newell, but it took a deflection, came all the way back to Andrew Boyce, who hooks it out for an Alfreton throw-in, and I'm sure Adam Lund's going to look to launch this into the area, or alternatively go short to Harry Perrott on the halfway line. We know what I want to see, because I say it every game. I like to see him go into the box.
Dugouts very close to each other.
Yeah, the ball comes in from Adam Lund, cleared away by Evans. Perrott runs over, but the ball will trickle out for a throw-in just inside the Alfreton half. As well, we spoke about the referee before the game, Liam Corbett, who hasn't had a great track record against Alfreton, but I'll have to give him his dues. He started this game pretty well, in my opinion.
Hasn't had too much to do yet.
No, but I suppose he's given us free kicks, which is an improvement over last time. Maybe so. What more the point is we're looking in better stead than last time.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't at Gloucester, but I heard bad things about him.
I was at Gloucester, and Liam usually makes remarks about how he thinks the referee might be poor before the game, and usually I brush it off. But that was one. And Warrington have now equalised against Brackley, back on level terms, having a great season, Warrington. Is this their first season in the National League North? I'm not sure. I know they have to have a ground upgrade, don't they?
Not sure. I liked Warrington's game. They had the nice...
Yeah, it was nice. Well, friendly bunch.
We were in the corner, weren't we?
John Dewlis charges down a ball that's gone into the box, but it's hooked away by Andrew Boyce, and Alfreton have a throw-in just inside the Gloucester half. Adam Lund makes his way over. I'm not sure this is one that will find its way into the box, because he'd have to throw it about...
Have we got our first booking of the day?
I think the Scunthorpe fans are jeering, saying Harry Perrett's come too far forward to take the throw-in. Liam Corbett sent him back. He's not going to book him. And a decent ping forward, to be fair, from Harry Perrett. Ken Diggy does well to... Oh, good work from Lund as well. Finds the ball over the top, but it's straight through to Ross Fitzsimmons in the Scunthorpe goal, as they'll look to build out from the back. Obviously Evans holding the ball. He's looked to go diagonal 2 or 3 times already, but he's just going to go square to Boyce. And now as Butterfield gets the ball on the halfway line for the hosts, Alfreton sit deep, and Dwayne Wiley does really well to stop that long ball coming in from over the top, and it's hooked forward by Adam Lund, but Jerry McDonough has no chance of getting there before any Scunthorpe players, as he stops to tie his lace instead. And Scunthorpe will build out from the back again, persisting with an approach where they'll build up slowly from the back and look to play into the midfield. Jerry McDonough now receiving it with his back to goal. Adam Lund looking with a nice little reverse left-footed pass out to Billy Fuster's wing, who just couldn't get in front of Denton on the right-hand side. George Cantrell presses Boyce, who's forced him to go back to Fitzsimmons, who hooks it long. Danny Elliott challenges Wiley, but Wiley comes out the winner. Flicked forward by Billy Fuster, and Jerry McDonough looking to put pressure on Evans, but happily just heads it back into the hands of Fitzsimmons.
Seems to be opening up a little bit. We've wasn't a cagey start, but it was definitely a contained start from both sides.
Yeah.
It seems to be a bit more kind of eagerness to play forward now from both teams.
John Thulis in a foot race now with Ogle.
Pushes him to the ground.
Ogle is lashed out at Jordan Thulis. Jordan Thulis just used his hands to try and get to the ball. Ogle had absolutely none of it and threw him to the ground. The referee gives him a warning. He doesn't want to talk to Jordan Thulis. Jordan Thulis and Ken Diggy asking Liam Corbett to book Regan Ogle, but he's not going to give it, and Adam Lund is receiving a bit of stick from the Scunthorpe fans as he looks to launch it into the area. Billy Fuster makes an excellent run, clever, goes back to Lund, who has time to whip it into the area. It comes deep and it's just over John Thulis, but the Scunthorpe won't be happy with that, because Billy Fuster just kind of ran round the outside and came short, and no one picked it up, just switched off there. And if the quality was there on the ball from Lund, they could have been in a spot of bother.
Scunthorpe looking to take this goal kick short, but decided not to. Players pushing up.
And that diagonal long ball as Ogle looks to come round the outside, but it's flicked out for a throw-in by Adam Lund. And Scunthorpe not scared to put bodies forward, but
Foul throw.
Regan Ogle picked up for a foul throw. That is a manager's worst nightmare, to watch a player give away something so trivial as a foul throw. Just having a look across the leagues, as Derby County have taken the lead away from home at Barnsley. Obviously I'm pretty sure that's a pretty important game for both those sides.
Obviously Derby in brilliant form.
And Burton are trailing at home to Northampton Town. It's worth mentioning as well, Mansfield are winning at home. The team looking likely to get out of League Two this season, looking to push up into League One. Notts County as well, trailing by 2 to Crewe Alexandra. Not what they'll want to see. As well as Chesterfield looking to get back to winning ways, but still drawing 0-0 with Rochdale. Just as a bit of a mix-up from Dwayne Wiley and Nathan Newell, but fortunately Dwayne Wiley comes away with the ball. It's headed forward by Ogle after the long ball from...
I think Jerry had time to take that down.
Yeah, but someone's got to tell Jerry he has time there, because he's been challenged every time. Scunthorpe fans feel George Cantrell fouled Dion Sembi-Ferris.
Billy having a bit of a chuckle to himself, because I think he knows that decision has been given the wrong way, but the referee's having we don't think the referee's having a bad game, but the Scunthorpe fans around us do. The decisions do seem to be falling in our way at the minute.
And Adam Lund's going to look to launch this into the area. Ken Diggy, Jerry McDonough are going to be the ones to look to flick this on. It's closest to Ken Diggy. It's kept in by Ken Diggy and John Dewlis now picks it up. He's
pushed to the floor.
Yeah, just a strong shoulder from Regan Ogle, who knocks Dewlis onto the floor fairly, in all fairness, and it's a Scunthorpe goal kick. And they look to build out quickly as Michael Clunan spreads the ball out wide. It's just kept in by Cian Scales as he comes down this side. It's cleared away by Diggy, and Billy Fuster miskicks it, and it's a Scunthorpe throw-in on that near side as Bristol City equalise against Sheffield Wednesday. Although every point counts at the bottom half of that championship table, so... And Scunthorpe find the way into the box, and
brilliant.
Jordan Thewlis with his back to goal. Ogle bearing down behind him, waiting for him to take a touch to nick it off him, and Thewlis just dummies it, lets it run through his legs. It comes all the way out as Scunthorpe look to build up again as Dion Sembi-Ferris plays it back to Ogle, who whips it into the area. It's headed up, and George Willis will come and collect after a bit of a scramble in the area. A couple of Scunthorpe bodies and Alfreton bodies jump up in the air to challenge for the ball. .27.5 minutes played and not one clear-cut chance yet for either side. End to end, probably say that phase of play is probably the most threatening in the game so far for either team. Probably leaves Scunthorpe just edging it as Nathan Newell heads the ball forward, and it comes back as Dion Sembi-Ferris holds it off and plays it all the way back to the centre half. Evans looks to flick forward, and Waldock is going to have a chance to drive through the middle, and he goes out wide to Billy Fuster, but his pass is just short, and Denton steps up and wins it as Liam Mac-Linden comes down the left-hand side and looks to get round Harry Perrott. Adam Lund does well as he tackles the overlapping man. Scunthorpe will have a throw-in on that far side. Taken quickly back to Denton. Comes inside, all the way back to Denton once again. He's been very involved on that side. Cian Scales now. Also been very involved on the left-hand side. They've been a intimidating pair, and the ball is poked through, but no Scunthorpe bodies there to pick it up, and it's through into the hands of George Willis. So we approach half an hour played. And the Alfreton players look to pile over onto the right-hand side, or the left-hand side of the pitch, I should say. It's gone on to the right-hand side, though, where only Billy Fuster is, and he gives chase to Denton, who will see the ball out for a throw-in right in that Scunthorpe corner. As Alfreton press up, looks to box the hosts in.
Going very high there. All of, well, barring Nathan Newell and Dwayne Wiley, all in there attacking third, pressing up the pitch there.
It's flicked up by John Thulis, back to, and it's hit by Thulis. Oh, a neat 1-2, a header from Thulis into the head of Jerry McDonough, who knocked it back down. Thulis went for the half volley strike first time off the bounce, but it's blocked by a burgundy body in the Scunthorpe defence, and it'll go out for a corner. Obviously, Waldock's corner earlier came a bit low as my side Borough go 2-0 down at home to Plymouth. The corner comes in, looks to the edge to Perrott, who strikes, but it's low and it's blocked away up into the air by Scunthorpe, who look to counter-attack. Lund hooks it back forward for Ken Diggy, who brings it down well and finds Waldock, puts it into the area just behind Jerry McDonough. Ogle now a look to play inside to Jacob Butterfield. Inside again to Captain Michael Clewlan, who goes all the way home now. Evans carrying the ball out as he receives from Boyce. Out onto that left-hand side again, where I must say Scunthorpe have had the most joy down that side.
Definitely.
It's clearly quality down that side. I mean, we're even seeing Dion Sembi-Ferris, who has started on the right, venture over on that left, but we've seen Denton and Scales have a lot of joy down that side. Headed out of touch for a Scunthorpe throw-in by Harry Perrott. A bit of a war of attrition, this, really.
Yeah, both teams kind of still trying to work each other out, maybe. It's been a close contest. Again, no kind of major chances so far. Couple of openings for both teams. As the ball goes out of touch in front of the dugouts.
Obviously, some of the last few games Alfreton have had other than Banbury have been, well, Kings Lynn on Tuesday, obviously a full-time outfit. South Shields was a 1-0 win against a full-time outfit. Scunthorpe, probably the biggest side in this league. It's been a tough set of challenges for Alfreton, but they've put them up and knocked them down, and they'll be hoping to do the same here. Although, to be completely unbiased, I do think Scunthorpe have started the more dangerous of the two sides, but we know Alfreton aren't a side that are going to knock the ball around with great intent and look to find gaps and get the ball in behind on the floor. They're a team that will take the chance when they get it. That's what they'll look to do. So we're very much in this game, very promising. Obviously approaching 33 minutes played. Nothing too interesting to write home about, but the boys are fighting, and I'm sure they'll become more involved in the game as it goes on, as John Thulis flicks it around the corner to Jerry McDonough, who puts in a neat set of step-overs, whose cross is blocked by Boyce, but it's out for an Alfreton corner as Liam Waldock heads over to take it. Obviously, the first two corners, he's tried a neat little clip to the edge of the box for Harry Perrott. I don't think we'll see that from this corner because it would be coming to Perrott's left foot.
Yep.
I think we'll see this one delivered into the area, but
I agree. I think we are going to see potentially Adam Lund come round the back as he has done in the past.
It comes in at the front post, but it's knocked away. I actually think that came off John Thulis last, but he's given it as an Alfreton throw-in.
The run-off at the side of the pitch here for Lundy is not very big.
And he's receiving a lot of stick. However, he does seem to be enjoying it.
Yeah,
they do seem to relish those moments, players, where they're getting a bit of stick from the opposition supporters. It comes in, it's headed up by Dwayne Wiley to the edge of the box as Liam Waldock flicks it back in. Jerry McDonough challenges Danny Elliott, but no one there as Boyce clips it down the line. As Perrott has lots of time. He's chased down by Dion Sembi-Ferris as he just knocks it back to Willis, who clips it back up the pitch once again. Headed away by Boyce, but all the way through into the hands of George Willis.
I really like the green goalkeeper kit.
I do as well. I much prefer it.
Jerry getting a tough time up there.
And John Thulis finds himself in behind, gives it back to Jerry on the right-hand side, who's going to look to find a bit of space. He's pushed down on the edge of the area. The Scunthorpe fans do not agree with the referee. George Cantrell is protesting that he was fouled in the box. Liam Corbett completely uninterested in entertaining that appeal. Scunthorpe fans not best pleased with the performance of the referee as Chester take the lead against Spennymoor. The Scunthorpe fans making their feelings towards Liam Corbett well known. It's Northampton double their lead against Burton Albion. Let's see if we've got anything else kicking off around the ground. I don't
pretty dry around the ground.
so.
We've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goalless games. Good position this for Newell to whip that ball in.
Yeah, he's got a wicked ball in the box at times, Newell, and he's just where he wants to be, just outside the edge of the 18-yard area, right out wide so he can get plenty of outswing on it. Bodies in the area, only Harry Perrott back for Alfreton, and it comes in towards the back post. It's headed into the side netting by Adam Lund. And that is probably the biggest chance so far in this first half, as Barnsley equalise against Derby. Obviously, Derby sitting in second, Barnsley sitting in fourth. As it stands, 6 points between the sides. Barnsley want to make a bid for automatics. They'll be hoping to win today. As Jerry McDonough does really well to hold up the ball and wins a throw-in.
Protesting that he thinks he's getting pulled a bit too much. I'm inclined to agree. I think he's always up for a battle, but I think at the minute it's becoming...
Well, Boyce is a big unit who's marking it today. He's going to... It's launched into the area by Adam Lund. Looked at headed down by Ken Diggy, and it's judged to come straight off Ken Diggy's heading out for a goal kick. I'm not too sure. The jeers from the Scunthorpe fans, they feel that's the first thing that has gone their way in this first half. Harry Perrott flicks the ball up into the air, knocked down by the Scunthorpe captain Michael Clunan, as the ball's knocked down the left channel but all the way through and curls into the area for George Willis to pick up, as Danny Elliott looked to chase the ball with an inverted run, but a bit too much to ask for him.
It's the right idea from them to play that ball kind of directly through that gap, but fortunately for us it rolled through to Willis. Willis has obviously been not had to make a big save yet, but he's been quick off his line and kind of started most of our play with picking the ball up.
Butterfield just knocking the ball back to Ogle there, who looked to go down the line, but Jerry McDonough gets his left leg out and blocks it, and interestingly and probably positively for us, Warrington have taken the lead against the playoff chasing Brackley.
Over 2.5 goals in that one already.
Ogle sent back to take the throw-in. Referee judged he'd come too far forward. Nathan Newell wins a header, and the ball is knocked straight up into the air, and Liam Waldock wins it. It's flicked on by Jerry McDonough, but not quite enough on it to knock it through for Newell. Danny Elliott wins the challenge against Diggy to bring it down. Butterfield now on the halfway line for Scunthorpe. Comes all the way back to his centre half in Evans, who travels into the Alfreton half. He goes out wide to Liam McLinden on the left-hand side, but they come back central. Butterfield looked like he was just going to look for Denton in behind on the left-hand side, but he comes inside again. Ogle out on the right-hand side now, who's going to be pressed by Jordan Thulis. Dion Sembi-Ferris now comes inside, and he gets the ball back off a neat 1-2 off Scales. cuts inside past Newell, outside of the football into the area, and missed by Diggy. Looked like it was going to fall to a Scunthorpe player, but I believe it was Billy Fuster who just clipped in front and managed to get the ball to deflect off him pretty weakly and into the hands of George Willis. A threatening piece of play by the hosts. As we enter the last 5 minutes plus stoppage time of this first half. George Cantrell looks to go around the corner for Jerry McDonough, who just can't quite keep it in. Some young Scunthorpe fans all wanting to throw the ball back onto the pitch.
All wanted to show the match ball today.
2 or 3 of them fighting to try and get there first. Nice to see the shortest lad came away with the ball. Ogle coming down the right-hand side, inside to Butterfield, who finds Evans, who is a marauding centre-half forward into the Alfreton half. We've seen plenty of times already. As he looks to make his way into the left half space, his Scales goes out to the wing, and the ball's whipped into the area, but it's right through, but it's kept by Sembi Ferris on the right-hand side, who is just outside the area, plays it into the area, back out to the edge of the area as Butterfield looks to whip one in, and it's headed, but doesn't quite even go out for a goal kick. A weak header, hooked away by Perrott. Butterfield now looking for Sembi Ferris on the right. He plays a 1-2, looks to get the ball into the channel, but it's hooked away very, very well by Dwayne Wiley, who is chased by Jerry McDonough. Scunthorpe get a...
That clearance looks to have done some damage to Dwayne Wiley.
Yeah, it looks uncomfortable as he kind of slipped as he hooked the ball away with his left foot. His legs just seem to get tangled. I can imagine he's in some discomfort as Ollie runs on.
Good speed.
Good speed. Not quite. I'm still tipping the Banbury physio on Tuesday night. I've never seen a physio set off like that, but as we mentioned on Tuesday in the search for the fastest physio in the National League North, he was a short man, so it could have just been his legs moving quickly.
Perception.
Yeah, it could have been as Buxton take the lead at Darlington. Darlington obviously last Saturday picking up a very impressive 4-0 win against South Shields at South Shields. Couldn't replicate the form on Tuesday night against Boston, though, as they were beaten 2-0, and now they're trailing today. As I believe as well, obviously not on our score sheet, but local side Mansfield Town, a draw into Salford. Gary Neville will be happy now because they were behind earlier in this game.
I believe it's just appointed a new manager as well, is that correct?
I believe so, yeah. And Hereford, I believe, taking the lead against Southport, a struggling Southport. They have, unless live score decides VAR's coming into play. But as of now, Hereford are leading by 1 at Southport. That'll do their playoff bid some good, especially with Brackley trailing at Warrington 2-1. 43 minutes played here at Glanford Park, and the best chance of the game probably coming for Adam Lund from that Nathan Newell free kick that hit the side netting, but Scunthorpe probably been the more threatening of the two sides in all honesty in this first half. Chester have now doubled their lead against Spennymoor. Obviously now managed by Graham Lee, formerly of Mask United. Pumped forward by George Willis as Jerry McDonough looks to chase, but the ball will come all the way through for Fitzsimmons.
The North East Football Encyclopedia.
It's what I know. Nathan Newell budges Sembi Ferris, and he comes and pushes Nathan Newell, and you don't want to push a Mackham. Nathan Newell gives him a bit back. 1 minute of stoppage time here, as the game seems to be boiling up over that far corner. Nathan Newell went into a challenge with Sembi Ferris with his shoulder, knocked him into the advertising board. Sembi Ferris got up, walked over to Nathan Newell and pushed him. Nathan Newell didn't take lightly to it and pushed him back. I think both men will be fortunate not to see some kind of punishment. Obviously, Sembi Ferris will, I think, will probably be booked for the reaction, but Nathan Newell also reacted back. If Nathan Newell had kind of just taken the push, Sembi Ferris would have been the only one to receive a booking. Obviously, Nathan Newell sent off by Liam Corbett at Gloucester away. He's giving the pair of them a talking to, and they do both receive a booking.
It wasn't until the 45th minute that we got our first booking of the game.
Obviously, Nathan Newell just not wanting to be pushed around by Sembi Ferris, stood up for himself, and that's got him in the book as well. I think they're the first yellow cards we've seen this game. As we enter the final minute of stoppage time, the one and only minute of stoppage time, Adam Lund sends it long, and it looked like Fulis was going to be able to spin him behind as Jerry McDonough had two tangled up with him, but it just came off his shoulder. And Michael Clulin locks the ball back, and Evans looks for a diagonal ball over to the side, but it's overhit and over the head of Liam McLinden on that side. Perrott now flicking the ball long down the line with a throw-in. Cleared away by Scunthorpe in the air. Ken Diggy challenges Danny Elliott and wins. Perrott comes inside. Great little 1-2. Jordan Fulis just slips over, and Regan Ogle drives the ball forward for Scunthorpe. This could be the last attack of the first half here. Sembi Ferris up against Newell. Ball comes in, headed away by Dwayne Wiley, and off the thigh of Sembi Ferris, and Alfreton have a throw-in. The clock about to tick over at 47. Obviously, the referee playing a little bit of extra time because of the altercation between Nathan Newell and Sembi Ferris. Saw emotions boil over. And Mr. Corbett blows his whistle for half time.
Booze.
The best chance of the half probably coming for Adam Lund, but the more threatening of the sides here at Glanford Park probably is the host. Just before we go, we'll look around the grounds as the half-time whistle was blown here. Sheffield Wednesday retake the lead against Bristol City. Barnsley are still level with Derby County. Northampton Town are 2 up against Burton Albion. Mansfield Salford remains 1-1, and Crewe Alexandra remain 2-0 up against Notts County. Chesterfield still deadlocked. Boston United are 1 up against Blythe Spartans. Spennymoor have equalised at Chester. Chester's second goal was disallowed, which has seen Spennymoor get level on terms, making it 1-1. Buxton lead at Darlington. Gloucester lead against the Sea Dogs. Kingsland, Farsley Celtic, Peterborough Sports, Rushall Olympic remain deadlocks. Also, obviously, there's a deadlock here at Glanford Park. Hereford lead at Southport. Tamworth and Curzon Ashton are also still deadlocked, and Warrington lead against Brackley Town. And just before, Rushall have just taken the lead. Just as we finished that, just before half-time happened there, Rushall Olympic have taken the lead against Peterborough Sports in what was previously a deadlock, leaving it 1-0. We'll love you and leave you now for half-time. We'll be back when the teams come back out for the second half. We hope to see you there. And thank you.
I didn't mean to do that, sorry.
Welcome back here for the second half at Glanford Park. One change for our hosts at half-time as Danny Elliott comes off for Danny Whitehall. Danny for Danny.
Boys in Clark Blue, get behind you. Scunthorpe United.
Teams are back out.
Hopefully this anthem doesn't get us taken off there, because
We'll try and talk over it. Make sure.
not sing over it.
No, I won't sing over it.
Bit of a correction on one of the games that we reported before half-time. We reported that Rushall had scored to go 1-0 up.
But it was disallowed.
But it was disallowed, and then they conceded 2 in quick succession to go 2-0 down into half-time. So I'm sure it'll be interesting to watch in the highlights what's gone on there. But from 1-0 up to 2-0 down within a couple of minutes.
Just looking, Aston Villa are now 3-1 up.
Get it.
With Douglas Louise getting a brace in my fantasy team. Get in. Oh, my mates are going to be fuming that I've got Douglas Louise in. How many points am I on? Oh, and we're back underway. Scunthorpe get us going again. Obviously now we've got this dangerous left-hand side for Scunthorpe on the close side to us. We can keep a closer eye on where most of the action has come from the hosts. Down this side. As the ball isn't on the far side.
Maybe it's just that side of the pitch.
Yeah, they don't want to play down our side. That long diagonal ball comes in again, headed by Perrott all the way back to George Willis. I don't think he was looking to head it out. It's come off his head and gone all the way through. I'm sure he'll have no complaints. It's found the safe hands of George Willis, who looks to clip it long and up the pitch. Flicks forward towards the substitute for the hosts, Danny Whitehall, if you missed that. Just the one change at half-time here in this game.
Jamie Dollar does very well there to kind of get the ball under control. Doesn't play the first pass he sees. Manages to set the ball into the box. One-on-one
with Boyce, who cuts inside and shoots. But safely into the hands of Ross Fitzsimmons as it came down his throat, just dropped to his knees and collected that. Danny Whitehall felt that he was pushed by Kennedy Diggy as he looked to be running in behind, but the referee waves off his complaints as George Willis gets the ball into his hands.
Seems as though there was a bit of a tangle there. I don't think there was enough for a foul, and I think the ball probably would have run through anyway, wouldn't it? So ref not getting involved, probably rightly so.
Harry Perrott flicks it forward as Billy Fuster challenges for a header. As it breaks, but Adam Lund expertly challenges, and Harry Perrott, who seems to have some sort of tape on his knee as we start the second half, knocks it back to George Willis. Liam Waldock now looking to play the ball down the wing for Billy Fuster, but it's knocked into touch by Denton, and it'll be a throw-in for Alfreton as Adam Lund makes his way over to launch this ball into the area, as he does so well, but he goes short to Billy Fuster, feet and back, as Lund whips the ball into the area, and a diving effort from Danny Whitehall sees the ball go out for a throw-in for the boys in yellow. Liam Waldock once again making his way over to the corner flag. Obviously we've seen this new kind of clipped towards the near post in the edge of the area, low approach from the corner so far today. Obviously Billy has experimented with different corner tactics so far this season. Obviously we saw Adam Lund peel around the back post quite a bit. This could be something new that we see. It's clipped in towards the edge of the area, headed up by Harry Perrott. Ken Diggy gets onto it, but
he's offside.
The flag goes up on the near side. Another update on a score we had, obviously, after we went off the air for half-time. Boston United doubled their lead up in the northeast against Blythe, who when we visited Blythe up in the northeast, were a very high-flying side, up in the dizzy heights of the playoff. Obviously now that seems a bit out of reach for them. Fun fact about that day, I accidentally went to Blythe Town instead of Blythe Spartans. And I got out of the car and I was like, where is everyone? Their game had been called off.
Oh, looked like handball.
Ken Diggy steps forward, knocks the ball into Adam Lund, who goes all the way home from the halfway line. George Willis with loads of time. Bit of pressure from Danny Whitehall, but easily knocked forward. Jerry McDonough chests the ball down well. Knocks the ball around the corner. Nathan Newell.
He's doing absolutely everything that Billy's going to be wanting from him today. He's really getting us up the pitch. He's getting the ball under control and bringing people into play. It's been brilliant. Getting
us on the ball, in play. Possession had. Ball looked to go down the line. John Thewlis offside as he looks to challenge Ogle. That was a interesting matchup in the first half. I'm sure we'll see more again. We've seen a couple interesting matchups, obviously. Sembi Ferris and Nathan Newell will be want to watch, obviously each picking up a yellow card for a bit of handbags at the end of the first half, but we've also seen bits of handbags between Ogle and Jordan Thewlis as well, obviously not to the extent, but it's been an interesting matchup.
Perrett's got quite a heavy taping on his knee there.
Yeah, I'm assuming if he's still playing with that amount of tape in his knee, it's probably just an impact injury, needing something to keep it compact to kind of stop it from hurting. I've had plenty of injuries, believe me. If I was at a club, I'd be on the physio bench every week. There'd be no training going on. The ball comes along from Scunthorpe, only to the head of Dwayne Wiley, who knocks it down. Jerry McDonough looks to take it in his stride with his thigh. Just got away from him and it's cleared. But up to Ken Diggy, who has loads of time to hook it back forward. Jerry McDonough chests it up into the air. Liam Waldock and Michael Clunan challenging for the ball. The ball goes into touch for an Alfreton throw-in. Adam Lund makes his way over to what we can only assume will be to launch the ball as far as he can up the line. Chesterfield take the lead. I'm not sure they're on our scoreboard, but obviously a local side looking to get back to winning ways after they were beaten.
I'm not too sure it'll make too much of a difference. It'll probably just mean they get promoted 1 week later.
That's Bromley within 20 points.
20 points, it's crazy, isn't it? It would have been interesting to see where they'd have finished in League 2 this year, because obviously not going up with Notts County and Wrexham last year, but inside as we
Adam
throw
Lund
it into the
launches the ball into the area, flicked on by Kennedy Diggy, but flicked on to a Scunthorpe head. Nathan Newell looks to challenge. He does well, very well, to get it all the way home. And honestly, I'm loving this goalkeeper kit more and more. Now that you've pointed it out as well, it's a beautiful kit, better than the purple one, but in my humble opinion. A bit of frustration as Keane Scales look to go in behind for Danny Whitehall. Danny Whitehall halting his run. A bit of frustration there, and I believe in the Premier League, Forest have scored again to make it 3-2 just after the restart. And Scunthorpe win a free kick near the halfway line after a foul on Simbi Ferris by George Cantrell. They looked to play it quick, but yeah, the ball was rolling. Challenge from Adam Lund high. He's pressed up. He's the highest player on the pitch for Alfred, and now as Scunthorpe begin to come forward. Sembi Ferris out to Ogle on the right-hand side. Lots of yellow bodies compacting that area. The ball comes in between. For Whitehall, who look to get a little reverse pass back to Ogle, but it's blocked and out for a Scunthorpe corner. A neat passage of play, to say the least, by the hosts. And Butterfield goes over to click the ball for the corner. There is a Scunthorpe player struggling forward. I believe it's Michael Clunan, the captain. just limping up the pitch. Scunthorpe leaving 2 players back. And the crowd in the back post. Whitehall and Simby Ferris on George Willis in the goal mouth. They'll have to be careful not to foul him if he comes to claim. An outswinging ball swings away from the 6-yard area. It's headed up, punched away by George Willis. Only as far as Clunan, who shoots and he wins it back. Waldock intercepts really well as the touch came back into the box, and he looked to send Jordan Thewlis down the left-hand side, but unfortunately Thewlis had already started running to the right-hand side.
It's well defended, that is. And Billy's obviously really puts real focus on being strong in both boxes.
Yeah.
And there we were. The ball in was good. It was clear what they were looking to do. Didn't win the first contact, but kind of suffocated the opportunity really well. George Cantrell fouled, but no decision given. He stays on the ground. Both of Alfreton's centre midfielders on the ground now. Lundy, is that Lundy?
No, it's Jordan Thewlis.
Jordan Thewlis is both on the ground, but they're both back up.
Oh, Jerry McDonough with some neat footwork. Keeps possession, finds Lund, who found Waldock. Jordan Thewlis opts to go all the way back to Nathan Newell, who looks to try and switch the ball towards Billy Fuster, but it'll come all the way through, and Ross Fitzsimmons will keep the ball in play. And Scunthorpe happy to keep the ball at the back and build up slow. Obviously, we saw Evans maraud up into the Alfreton half when he got the ball, more often than not, as he carries the ball forward here into the centre circle. He's pressured by George Cantrell. His pass is only as far as Nathan Newell, as Jerry McDonough looks to pressure Fitzsimmons with a neat touch into Boyce, and a nice bit of play. Sees the ball come down this near side for Scunthorpe, but it just rolls out for an often throw-in. As Josh Claxton dries the ball for Harry Perrott to take the throw-in. Goes all the way back to George Willis. He's being pressured by Danny Whitehall. Willis comfortably pumping the ball out to the wing, but it's a bit too high for Billy Fuster, and it'll go out for another throw-in for the hosts, who look to come inside. Adam Lund fouling Butterfield, and he looked to take it quick, but
fans are having a bit of a moan up there, but that's
the rules are the rules. If the ball's rolling on a free kick, you can't do it. And just really slowly building out from defence Scunthorpe as Clunan drops in deep and picks it up.
Yeah,
he's got space to drive.
He's coming much deeper now to kind of receive that ball pretty much off his centre-back's toes to kind of then drive into the middle.
Yeah. Looking behind as Dwayne Wiley's in a foot race with Danny Whitehall, and the referee remains unfooled. Danny Whitehall throwing himself to the ground dramatically.
If I was neutral, I would probably be saying that could be a penalty.
Dwayne Wiley did use his body on Whitehall, but the assistant linesman flag stayed down. The referee unconvinced.
He seemed to kind of get in a good position. He definitely didn't need to go down there. He kind of he got goal side. He was in a good position there. He didn't really need to go down. Very similar to the one that we got not too long ago at Darlington.
Yeah.
Kind of just seemed to get in front of his man and just got nicked. But I mean,
it was very cinematic the way through for his ground. George Willis has picked up a booking for time wasted now as he was picking up some rubbish off the pitch. The Scunthorpe fans unhappy with how long it's taken him to take his goal kick. A great knock, won by the Scunthorpe defenders. Dwayne Wiley flicks it up in the air as Denton and Fuster chase the ball down. It's knocked up into the channel. Ken Diggy will head it back forward as it goes out of touch for a Scunthorpe throw-in. Billy barking instructions onto the pitch now. George Cantrell with a clever little touch for his interception, but...
Oh, the referee is right in front of him, and he seems to have fallen for player chucking himself on the floor. Lundy making that point that he's kind of just kicked the ball away and chucked himself in the air.
Yeah, no goals across. Actually, do we have one? We have Brackley on level terms at Warrington. Obviously, Warrington leading 2-1 there, now 2-2 after being 1-0 down, the hosts. John Thewlis challenging, gives away a free kick. I don't think he'll find his way into the book, but definitely a rash challenge. Scunthorpe take it quickly. The referee pulls it back because
he wasn't done talking.
Yeah, Clunan took it a little bit too far forward. Sembi Ferris gets it across the area and cleared out for a throw-in for the hosts.
The atmosphere has
come to life.
Gone up a notch here.
Obviously, here at Glanford Park, the hosts have started the second half lively as it's struck from 25 yards and it comes off the bar from Jacob Butterfield. The ball bouncing around the area for the hosts, but it's cleared away.
It's a great strike.
Jacob Butterfield driving inside, striking the ball from distance. Jerry McDonough going to find his way into the book for a little bit of an entanglement on the halfway line. The Scunthorpe have a free kick right on the halfway line, but that George Willis has sat down.
Alfreton really need to kind of see this phase pass. I mean, they've had a couple of quick bookings. Scunthorpe have hit the bar. The pressure's building. They've now got two players on the ground. Perrett's on the ground. Willis is on the ground. And the atmosphere's raised. It's definitely feeling like they're on top at the minute, so we need to make sure that this period passes.
Yeah.
Players warming up in front of us. Got Jake Askew, Clacky.
Jake Askew really struggling to get his bib on.
Yeah. Jake Day we probably will see today. I think he's been really impressive when he's been required by Billy. Obviously, Jerry being in the form he is means his time kind of been limited, but when he's had his opportunity, he has taken it.
Yeah, just a bit of a break in play here as Willis receives treatment. Perrett back to his feet. Just seemed to be in a bit of discomfort with his knee. Just kind of touching his knee while he was down, but he's back to his feet. Doesn't seem to be anything too serious as Josh Claxton makes his way back onto the bench. There's yellow bodies crowding around George Willis now, making sure, showing some concern for their teammate. George Willis back to his feet. I'm not seeing any substitution board.
No, Jake Askew's in front of us, still in his bib, so doesn't look like looks like he's going to be staying on.
Obviously, the goalkeeper, the exception to the rule that you have to go off after the receiving treatment, because otherwise football would be quite a ridiculous place. But let's just give Alfreton a bit of time to regroup. Billy gets some instructions out. Scunthorpe have come to life at the start of this second half. Just over an hour played. Scunthorpe have a free kick on the halfway line. I believe it's Denton stood over the ball, who's going to look to take. Every Scunthorpe body forward apart from Keane Scales, who's just on the edge of the D in the Alfreton half.
Billy having a word with the referee, and Scunthorpe manager Jimmy Dean seems to be having a bit of an issue, saying 4 times. I'm not too sure what's happened 4 times, but flicked up into the air. A challenge battle on McDonough.
I believe Evans was judged to have unfairly challenged McDonough for that ball in the area. And Alfreton have a free kick. Lewis Salmon and Jake Askew, the two Alfreton players currently warming up, as well as Alfie Beeston for the host. Aston Villa have extended their lead through Leon Bailey. And a ball volleyed away by Bogle, but it can't be brought down by Liam McLinden. Around the grounds, Mansfield are still winning 2-1. And
Sheffield Wednesday, how are they doing?
Sheffield Wednesday are still 2-1 up, I believe.
Billy Fuster pressuring down the right-hand side. And
he'll win a throw-in that Adam Lund will like the look of. Right towards that corner flag, he's going to be able to throw this ball in flat and fast towards that front post, where I'm sure we'll see McDonough, Diggy, Wiley. While he's going around the back, actually, we'll see McDonough and Diggy stand on that front post looking to get a flick on across the area. Wiley makes a darting run towards the front post. The ball not quite reaching anyone on that front post, but it's going to go out for another throw-in.
A bit of a better position. That one came in a bit short.
Yeah, I think he was more focusing on not throwing it straight into the goalkeeper's hands.
And I think if I can, well, from here as well, the run-off that they've got doesn't look.
No, it's not great.
Doesn't look that long.
It's tough, but this one does come into the area. It's cleared away by Scunthorpe. Harry Perrott is going to be first to it. He just flicks it down the line. Doesn't bother to bring it down. Thulis and Ogle having a bit of a challenge. The ball runs out for a Scunthorpe goal kick. Mansfield now 3-1 up.
Is that on our screen?
No, it's not on our screen. No.
That's why I couldn't find it.
Yeah. And Alfie Beeston, who was warming up, is going to make an appearance as Michael Clunan, who I said was limping earlier, is going to come off now.
The battle in the middle there with Clunan and Cantor has probably been, again, one of the key battles in the game today.
Yeah.
So I think it's beneficial for him to be off the pitch after he's been definitely looking. Everything that they're doing is kind of going through him. And
yeah, looked something of a dead leg, really, didn't it, for Clunan, who was dropping deep, really driving the hosts forward. Looking
at the spare man, Billy Fuster's asking who he should be marking, because there seems to be an extra player on that far side. And
the referee gives Alfreton a free kick as he feels Diggy was unfairly grasped as he travels forward. Obviously, Diggy, centre half who loves a goal involvement.
Yep, you'd love him to get one today.
Yeah, obviously picked up a goal on Tuesday.
I think it's 5th of the season.
I believe so. I was going to say 5th, but I didn't want to get it wrong, so
I'll put my neck on the line.
Appreciate it. Chesterfield double their lead against Rochdale, not on the screen, don't worry. Just local teams, reading them out. Ping long by George Willis. Flicked in by Billy Fuster. Jerry McDonough looks to go across the area. The cross is blocked. Denton now in the corner, has to go long, hooks it. Comes all the way through for Nathan Newell, who'll flick it. Great first touch by Kennedy Diggy, who looks to go down the channel for Billy Fuster. Just overhit and out for a goal kick. Taken quickly by Fitzsimmons. Jacob Butterfield brings it down and it comes inside for Keane Scale.
Scales looks like he's picking up that
assuming that role, yeah.
Clunan has vacated to kind of look to orchestrate all of the attacks. Dwayne Wiley across well.
There's the substitute, Alfie Beeston, running in behind. Obviously, Scunthorpe made 2 of their 3 substitutions already this afternoon. Alfreton yet to make a change. As we approach the final 20 minutes plus stoppage time here at Glanford.
We've seen Billy this
Alfie Beeston now on the edge of the area. Knocks it out to Denton, who Alfie just looked to be trying to work a shot. Can't quite. Oh, and Sembi Ferris was in bags of space on the left, but Scunthorpe choose to go inside. And a bit of a tangle on the edge of the area between Billy Fewster and Denton. The ball is delivered into the area. While he flicks it on, Perrott going to look to get there ahead of Sembi Ferris. Knocks it down the line. Scales now with the ball on the left, goes back to his centre-half in Will Evans.
We've seen Billy kind of use his substitutions in different ways this season. We've seen him make double substitution on kind of 48, 49 minutes away at Southport when he obviously wasn't happy with what he was seeing, and we've seen him leave the players out there for 86, 87 minutes without making a sub.
Yeah,
so he's kind of playing it as the game goes and kind of reacting.
Billy often believes in his starting 11, and when there's not major issues and you're not performing poorly, he sticks with that starting 11, and he makes more subs when you're winning the game in terms of game management, which he's very good at in managing kind of games and seeing us through to wins, especially Darlington, where we picked up obviously a red card that was overturned as the referee booked Cantrell for the second time, even though it was a mistake.
Yeah, crazy.
It was crazy to see, but we ended up scoring another one, winning that game 2-0, down to that game management, and the referee admitted he made a mistake, and that decision was overturned, thankfully. You know, happens to the best of us. Scunthorpe now coming inside, as I believe it was Sembi Ferris who found his way in behind and got a shot off, but a great save from Willis with his legs. As Butterfield strikes from distance again, the same distance he hit the crossbar from. This time it dips out and goes wide.
I think he's going to be substituted. I think he's called over.
Yeah, Jake Askew is going to looks like he's going to have to make an appearance. George Willis down for the second time. He really seems to be struggling.
Very coincidental. Coincidental, really, because we were talking off air before about kind of the life of a
Reserve goalkeeper,
reserve second choice goalkeeper, and these are kind of the moments where you called into action. He's not played a lot of minutes, and it looks like he's going to have to come on and do a job here and see out the last 20 minutes. I mean, it doesn't look like he's getting ready just yet.
No, I think Billy will want to leave George Willis on. He's a very, very good goalkeeper for this level. But interesting news in League One, as Barnsley have taken the lead against Derby. A big game in terms of the automatic race in League One, and Darlington have equalised. The great escape that Darlow will be hoping for.
The linesman is having a bit of a word with the referee. Not too sure what that's about.
Maybe just having a
catch up
Nana's meeting, bit of a natter on the far side. George Willis still receiving treatment, much to the grievance of the Scunthorpe supporters behind the goal.
The ref seems as though he wants to hurry George Willis on, but Ollie's got to do his job and George has got to look after himself.
Yes, we all want the game to be underway and we want the game to be played, but football's a short career and you don't want lads getting big injuries, so you've got to be careful with these things. George Willis looks like he's going to continue, but Jake Askew will stay out and stay warm by the looks of it.
Ollie seems to be taking a bit of grief from the fans, and so does Jake Day down this side. Oh no, he looks like he's having a bit of a laugh and a joke.
He's enjoying it. So George Willis unhappy with his goal kick there, gives it a bit of a as it comes away. Well, I'm sure we'll see a nice bit of stoppage time at the end of the game, so it's not like he's wasting time at the end of the game. Obviously, the referee's in an awkward position because he's already booked George Willis for time wasting. I think it'd be very harsh to, book him again while he's receiving treatment. Blythe have got one back against Boston. think that's all the updates I've got for now. Obviously, Curzon and Tamworth, one of the games we picked out to be an interesting one, still 0-0. We want to keep an eye on that because Curzon are a team that are in and around us. Obviously, Tamworth competing with Scunthorpe for the National League North title, although Tamworth have taken a pretty hefty lead, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, we've spoke about Tamworth before, and kind of we obviously chat to other media teams on our way around, and just relentless in winning games, aren't they? They just seem to keep
Find a way.
It's never
Where Tamworth seem to find a way, Scunthorpe don't always find a way, and I think that's what's been the difference.
Yeah.
When we said, what was it, Tamworth, and Scunthorpe now breaking forward, Liam McLinden out on the far side. Looks to get past Nathan Newell, the ball comes in. Nathan Newell gets a foot on it, and it comes through to George Willis, who gets his hands on the ball. And he does seem to be struggling, George Willis, just in his kind of normal stride. He doesn't want to come off, obviously, which is why he's still on the pitch, but he might be forced to. But yeah, what we were saying is a couple of weeks ago, I think that's the time we were playing Southport, and they'd got a red card and they were level in the game at 1-1. And we thought, oh, they're probably going to get beat now, won't they, if anything? And they won the game 3-1. They're a team that find a way. So, credit to them for that. But Jerry McDonough now floats the ball into the area. It's headed by Billy Fuster, but not towards the goal, just kind of back across the area. Cleared away by Scunthorpe. It's going to run out for a throw-in for Alfreton on the far side, as Adam Lund will look to pump the ball as far forward as he can. He doesn't have a lot of room to take a run up, but he finds his way into the box, and it's headed away by Boyce, and Ken Diggy feels like he was dragged down, but Adam Lund now puts the ball into the area. Keane Scales looks to clear it all the way, Nathan Newell using his body to stop. Danny Whitehall from, oh no, not Danny Whitehall, Sembi Ferris. Willis boots the ball long. Denton beats Fuster in the air. Sembi Ferris looks offside, but
there's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
The flag stays down and Perrott challenges.
Ref has got the linesman on the far side has very clearly got the sun beaming straight into his eyes. He's got a real tough job over there. You can see he needs a cap. He needs a cap. I mean, I've never seen it.
Alternatively, he needs a hat, which you can pick up from the club store for £11. It's a beautiful hat. Love it. My new favourite thing. As George Cantrell does really well to step in front of Alfie Beeston. Adam Lund does well to carry it out, and Jerry McDonough just an excellent neat little touch, and Liam Waldock isolating his man goes wide to Billy Fuster, who just has Denton, looks to put the ball in the area. Denton's back foot blocks the cross, as Billy Fuster was just a bit off balance as he went and put that in. He'll win a corner for Alfreton. As I'm looking across the leagues, it doesn't seem there's anything else right now to talk about, as Liam Waldock prepares to take this corner from the right-hand side and outswinger. The ball comes in, it's headed up to George Cantrell. Oh. And the ball just travels to the wrong side of that post as he struck from the edge of the area. As we're getting upon the final 10 minutes plus stoppage time.
Looks like Scunthorpe are going to be making their third substitution.
He looks unsure, he's taken the bill off. Ken Diggy knocks Whitehall to the floor, but the referee deems it was not enough force to warrant a foul. The ball goes round the corner, and it's just kept in by Jordan Fulis, who looks to isolate Boyce, and he comes inside, looks to strike. But Liam Waldock picks it up, and I'm sure the Scunthorpe fans will be upset with that, because no more than 1 minute ago, Danny Whitehall was brought down by a touch from behind by Kennedy Diggy. There was nothing given, and it was probably the same amount of force there on Liam Waldock, who hit the deck and often have a free kick here that Nathan Newell will take.
He was going nowhere really as well. He's going away from his own goal. no real threat, and now after Alfreton get another chance to load the box and get Ken Diggy up, get Dwayne Wiley up, and look to win the
I'm
ball.
just wondering if Scunthorpe are going to be allowed to make the change first, as Tom Pugh looks to be coming on now. They don't, as Nathan Newell flicks the ball into the area. It comes to Dwayne Wiley, who clears the ball. A ball fell to him on the edge. He looked to volley it with his left foot as it fell to him, and a new ball has had to be thrown on because that ball has found its way out the ground. As Peterborough Sports go 3-0 up against Rushall Olympic. A good result for them.
Very good. I'm sure in front of a bumper crowd.
Yeah.
Our next substitution, replacing number 2, Regan Ogle, sponsored by Julie Taylor, is number 15, Tom Pugh, sponsored by G. Sophie. Substitution sponsored by Jackson Stapleton.
As Tom Pugh does make his way onto the pitch. I think he has come on for Regan Ogle, by the looks of it, on that right full-back position. As Scunthorpe take their goal kick following Dwayne Wiley's attempts on goal, if you want to call it that. It's headed forward even the last 10 minutes. Billy yet to make a change for often. Jerry McDonough going in for a challenge, but Scunthorpe keep the ball, and they're now playing down the far side as Mac Linden goes all the way home. And it's given to Evans out on the left, who's...
It seems to be an extra man over here.
Yeah,
they're definitely not making the most of it, but there's definitely an overload on this near side.
And outside the boot pass down the line. Danny Whitehall has got it. He looks to come inside. He's found space. He strikes, but George Willis pats it down like Petr Cech and collapses on the ball. A bit of a heart in the mouth moment as the shot came in from Danny Whitehall down the throat of George Willis, who kind of fumbled it but then collapsed on it. Stop anything from kind of coming to fruition as Darlington take the lead at home to Buxton. The great escape is on. Obviously the media guys at Darlington said to us they just felt that they were running out of time to start winning games, and they've seemed to have got their wish, haven't they? If they've won 2 in 3. Dwayne Wiley's got time to hook it clear. Doesn't quite get it right, and it comes out to Sembi Ferris, who's one-on-one against Harry Perrott as he looks to isolate him, and he comes inside past him. The ball comes into the area, it's flicked on as it finds its way through to George Willis, and as that substitute that Scunthorpe made, where they brought on Tom Pugh for Regan Ogle, he seems to be a bit more attacking. He was the closest man to getting on the end of that flick on. Obviously, Sean Brizzy, Lewis Hammond and Jake Day all warming up for Alfreton, as we're still waiting to see a change. Adam Lund looks to come away. Oh, it's a lunging challenge as I think Sembi Ferris gets lucky to come away from the ball as Chesterfield concede again as Rochdale finds an equaliser. Dwayne Wiley now looking to send the ball long, and he does.
He does well.
Yeah, he got it very far away on his weaker left side. Whitehall does well as Beeston rides the challenge out to Sembi Ferris, who looks to come across, blocked by the mouth of Harry Perrott. Adam Lund blocks the strike from Beeston. Harry Perrott in a bit of discomfort as he threw his body across and the ball struck him right in the mouth as he blocked that. Adam Lund holding off Alfie Beeston now, who goes back to Tom Denton. Sorry, Tyler Denton, not Tom Denton. And there'll be a throw in for the host as we will see the introduction of Lewis Salmon, the first change for Billy Heath, who will replace Jordan Thewlis.
Not many around us scrapping that substitution, but we'll do it for us.
Jordan Thewlis walking off the pitch, jeered on by the Scunthorpe fans.
I'm hoping we will see a match winner for Alfreton, but Early shouts for man of the match, who are you thinking?
Early shouts, very early. It's been a tough one because it's been a big battle, but I'd probably give it to Adam Lund.
I think Lundy will be in there.
I see Cantrell running relentlessly as he presses Jacob Butterfield into his own half. He has to go all the way home. And he receives the ball back off the goalkeeper as Cantrell waves for his teammates to come and help him in the press. A pass around the corner as Boyce carries forward for Scunthorpe. It's won back by Liam Waldock, who does well to come inside to Dwayne Wiley as he had a few players blocking his options, but the ball's then clipped away by Wiley. Jerry McDonough looking to chase, and he just seems to be running out of gas now, doesn't he, Jez? I wouldn't be surprised if we saw the introduction of Jakey Day. George Cantrell, that's an excellent little touch. He's so neat. And Liam Waldock looks to flick it inside, but yeah, Jerry McDonough just out of gas. Still not kind of come back over from the far side where he made that run moments ago. Danny Whitehall now holds the ball up, goes out wide to, I believe it's Mike Pugh. Switch from Butterfield, can't quite get it over Perrott, and it's headed up by Fuster, who give chase to Sembi Ferris, but it goes out for a throw-in. It's taken quickly by Sembi Ferris, and he gets a 1-2 off with Beeston, and he goes all the way back to Scales now, who has definitely assumed that role as a kind of deep line playmaker. As Pugh comes inside and rides challenge after challenge, Beeston now holding the ball on the edge, who gives it back to Butterfield, who isn't scared to try his luck from distance, but he looks to give it inside, and Perrott does really well to just let the ball run through for a goal kick. For Alfreton, Jake Day making his way back to the bench. I'm trying to see if anyone's getting ready, but
2,400 of people in attendance on the game today.
Yeah, a big following, definitely, for the National League North. Obviously, there was over 1,000 at Darlington as well, which was very impressive. Blythe Spartans now on level terms against Boston. The ball comes long as Jerry McDonough looks to flick it in behind as Salmon chases, but it's hooked away from Boyce. Nathan Newell will get control of it as he can't quite get the better of Liam McLinden, and he ends up getting the last touch as Scunthorpe get a throw on the far side. Still 0-0 in the games between Farsley Celtic and Kingslink and Tamworth and Curzon Ashton. A long ball comes over the top, but Ken Diggy will comfortably turn with the ball with no real pressure on other than Danny Whitehall, who came with a bit too much momentum, and Ken Diggy comfortably turned. But we approach the final few minutes here in Scunthorpe. It's been a war of attrition. It's been a game that's been in deadlock. The biggest chance is definitely coming from the host, George Willis, making a great save with his feet from Sembi Ferris, and Jacob Butterfield striking the bar. The biggest chance for often came from Adam Lund in the first half, after we got that free kick just on the edge of the area that Newell delivered so well. But can either team here find the difference maker? I feel there's another big chance in this game.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I feel like I don't think we're going to go home without a goal, hopefully.
George Cantrell picks the ball up. Liam Waldock comes inside for Jerry McDonough, flicks it through to George Cantrell now on the byline. Hooks it in deep. All the way through for Waldock, who just leans back, and his effort rises up over the bar. Never really challenged Fitzsimmons, and I think that has been the story of Alfreton's afternoon. Ross Fitzsimmons, although his goal has been threatened, he hasn't been tested. He hasn't had a real effort to save that's not been straight at him, that he's just been able to collect as he knocks the ball long. Ken Diggy wins, and Cantrell flicks forward as Evans.
I think this is kind of a testament to kind of the form we're in at the minute, because we're coming here and we are wanting a winner, and we are kind of believing that we can do that and challenge the sides that are like top and second. So I think
Denton gets a throw in right near us here on the near side. He goes inside to Sembi Ferris, and the Ops go all the way back. Scunthorpe fans starting to grow frustrated. Obviously, they will be wanting 3 points here today.
7. I assume that's additional time. Probably a little more than I expected.
Billy Heath,
I mean,
frustrated that Herrick
finds his way into the book.
Sembi Ferris yet, and he picks up a yellow card.
I think that's down to the claims and the frustrations of the Scunthorpe man that got him into the book there. I don't think it was a yellow card offence. It's just the reaction of the Scunthorpe man's kind of earned him a booking. But
Butterfield standing over this free kick. Only Scales is back. It comes into the area, flicked by Whitehall, headed away by Salmon, but I think it's Pugh who is challenging Salmon. Comes from an offside position.
7 minutes at a time.
7 minutes at a time. Confirmation there as we enter the final few added minutes of this game. There is definitely the sense that there is one more big chance for either side in this game. Who it will come for, we don't know. Obviously, we're hoping it comes for Alfreton as George Willis sends his kick long. Jerry McDonough up and challenging. It comes back to Harry Perrott, who heads it back forward. It's Lewis Salmon losing out. The ball looks to go in behind. George Willis well off his line. Quickly not giving Sembi Ferris a sniff. And Willis just goes down with the ball to waste a few minutes as he bounces the ball at the edge of his box. Danny Whitehall trying to put Willis off, standing near. Willis
we're seeing that more and more at the minute, aren't we? Players standing right in front of the goalkeeper. And that is a foul. And
Lewis Salmon is brought down right on the edge of the area. And I believe it's Pugh's going to pick up a booking. And this is an area of real danger. Liam Waldock, I can only assume will take this, who scored an excellent free kick at Bishop Stortford away earlier this season in a midweek fixture that ended 4-0. And I'm sure the Ofton fans behind the goal will have a sense of optimism. We will want to see the keeper tested from this distance. Although, I'm not seeing Waldock stood over the ball. I'm seeing Nathan Newell, and now Waldock's over there. I can only assume it'll be Waldock. It is a side that favours the right-footed.
It's definitely not going into the box. It's going to be a direct shot. Diggy and Dwayne Wiley have not ventured up the pitch, so we're not expecting this one to, although could be kind of clipped into the box, but
I wouldn't like to see that.
No, definitely not from here, and definitely not with the players we've got in the box. So I think this will be directly.
5 minutes left of stoppage time. Liam Waldock over the free kick. He strikes into the wall. Out to George Cantrell. Into Harry Perrott.
Head injury in the middle of the pitch.
Perrott carries it forward. He strikes, but straight at Ross Fitzsimmons. As
I think there'd have been some angry shouts if that had gone in, because Scunthorpe had a man down in the box holding his head.
And goals galore in Southport as Hereford doubled their lead to 2-0, and then Southport immediately reply to make it 2-1 there. No change in the team that's leading.
Ollie beat onto the pitch by his opposite physio.
I think Ollie's just being careful because Diggy seems a bit more comfortable.
And we don't want him to have to come off if he doesn't have to.
With a clash of heads, yeah. Dwayne Wiley's waved him on. Ken Diggy said, "No, I'm all right."
I think he's got a cut.
He's got a bit of a cut. It was just a clash of heads. As we look around the scores in the National League North, Darlington still leading 2-1. Ready to change the score there?
I was jumping on it.
It was a bit of
115 travelling Reds today. It's good attendance. I was dropping
well done to everyone.
Dropping them off at the train station, and I believe around 30 to 40 others. 48 of people watching with us now. Thanks for joining us for today's game. We will be back on Tuesday night.
Tom Pugh now standing over the ball. He's going to throw this back on. Obviously it was a clash of heads, no foul. The ball is thrown into the area. Harry Perrott heads it away, only as far as Denton, who's going to deliver into the area. It goes deep towards Lund. It's fallen to Boyce.
Nice.
Scunthorpe appeal for a handball.
I think it was too close.
It was, if anything, it would have been ball to hand if it did come off the hand.
I think it definitely hit the arm, but I just feel like it was by his side. It was a hit him at pace. I think that would have been a tough, hard on the hip.
Yeah, the ball fell to Danny Whitehall, who looked to deliver into the area, but it was blocked by Sam, and Scunthorpe have a corner. Moments left in this game, just minutes to go. A game that's been deadlocked for 95 minutes, delivered into the area. Evans heads it across goal, and Scunthorpe will have found what must be a winner in the 95th minute of this game. It's heartache for Alfreton as a team that are chasing automatic promotion. Surely steal all 3 points right at the end of this game. It's harsh.
There is fans on the pitch.
It's very harsh. And it's Will Evans who's been excellent for the hosts in travelling forward with the ball. He's up highest, he heads it across goal, and it finds its way into the back of the net. So unfortunate.
In added time, number 5, Will Evans!
It's going to be a quiet bus journey home.
Will is sponsored by
Definitely, if I'd have broke the laptop, it would have been. That is disappointing. I think really tough on the lads. Billy's not going to be happy that it's come from a set play.
And with minutes left in the game, Billy Heath has thrown on an extra striker in Jake Day. I'm not sure who's come off. Looks like Adam Lund maybe's come off. The ball's pumped forward towards Jake Day in that corner. He's up, flicks it on. Lewis Salmon heads it back down. The ball's broke away. Scunthorpe looking to come forward. A lot of Alfreton bodies forwards. It's intercepted by Harry Perrott. Minutes to go in the game. Will Evans with the goal that looks like could separate the two sides in a game that was deadlocked for 95 minutes. And this heartache, it feels hard done by both.
Yeah,
in fairness
really
to the hosts, they have knocked on the door the most. If you were going to edge it one way, to be completely unbiased, I would have edged it their way, unfortunately. Billy Fuster now chasing the ball down. He looks to put a ball into the area. Challenge from Denton. The ball goes out. It's a throw-in for Alfreton. And the assistant linesman gives it the other way. And the Alfreton players disagree. It's been overturned. They've given a corner. Liam Waldock makes his way over now. Surely we'll see George Willis go forward. George Willis not being sent forward, but he is in the centre circle.
We're at 97, nearly 97. Well, over 97 minutes played.
Coming on the 98th minute. This could be the last chance of the game. The ball comes in. Ken Diggy was up, but he was judged to use too much of his hands to get up that high. And it'll be a free kick, and I feel that might be here at Glanford Park.
That'll be the end of the action, unfortunately. Heartbreak for the lads. It's a point would have been a good result coming here and kind of keeping that unbeaten run going, but not to be disappointing with the manner of the goal and how late it came. But yeah, disappointing.
And it just feels so fitting that the goal came from a set piece, because these sides have been deadlocked, attrition, looking to break each other down. And it was almost written that a ball into the box from a set piece would be something that would decide it. It's gutting to see as Peterborough extend their lead to 4. Jake Day challenging, George Cantrell challenging, Billy Fuster challenging. but it just can't seem to fall to a player. Scunthorpe get a free kick. We are well over the 97th now as we enter the 99th minute. That's on the big clock here in the ground, not ours. Ours is a few seconds behind. Games all across the country. The final whistle is being blown. The ball's booted towards the corner from the goal scorer, Will Evans. Butterfield looks to get the better of Cantrell. Cantrell comes away with it. He wins a throw-in. And the referee blows for full time here at Glanford Park. And Alfreton are beaten 1-0 by the team who are second in the league. The team who have the biggest following in the league. Probably the biggest budget in the league. It's heartache for the travelling Ofton fans. It's so harsh, but that is football. You'll have moments like that happen for you, and you'll have them happen against you. Absolutely gutted for the lads who have travelled, which is the mimic of what Big Sean has said in the comments. Gutted for the lads and the travelling fans.
155 with us today. The lads have put in a shift. They didn't deserve to lose the game today, but
you can hear
football. We've had moments where at Southport where we've taken points where we probably didn't deserve them, and in days like today you lose points when you probably do. It's football. It's horrible sometimes.
It hurts, but that's what happens, and you can hear the rejoice of the Scunthorpe fans. And I think the best way to look at it, although our weekend's been ruined, it's made a lot more people's weekends. But as we look around the grounds, just before we sign off, Barnsley have defeated Derby County by 2-1. Mansfield beat Salford 4-1. Notts County beaten 3-1 by Crewe Alexandra. Gloucester beat Scarborough Athletic 1-0 in a shock defeat for the Sea Dogs. Kings Lynn Town draw 0-0 with Farsley Celtic. Peterborough Sports win 4-0 against Rush Hall Olympic. Aston Villa beat Nottingham Forest 4-2. Sheffield Wednesday win 2-1 against Bristol City as they look to fight their way out of the relegation places in the Championship. Northampton Town 2-0 up against Burton Albion. Chesterfield drop points once again to Rochdale. Oh my God, all my scores are updating. Darlington beat Buxton 2-1. Hereford beat Southport 2-1. Tamworth and Curzon Ashton draw 0-0, which is 2 points gained on the league leaders for Scunthorpe here. Warrington and Brackley draw 2-2, which is a bit of a relief for us as Brackley drop points. Buxton drop points. Chester and Spennymoor draw 1, drop points. We next play on Tuesday evening against Kings Lynn Town at the Impact Arena. Please feel welcome to join us. If you're under 18, you can come down for free as part of our initiative with Alfreton Town Council. If you want to pick up one of these beautiful little hats, look at it, beautiful. You can pick them up at the club shop for £11. We look forward to seeing you during the week as we face Kings Lynn Town. Once again, thank you for everyone who's tuned in to the stream, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Cheers.